Well, greetings, fellow wanderers. Jacob Wile here.
Hey, Tiki. Uh,
And welcome to Wandering Over Yonder, a vlog series where I take tired Tiki here on a voyage through Greg McCracken's madcap Disney XD series Wander Over Yonder. Having been through the show before, it is my job to show him the ins and outs of this strange universe. And this time we have the night.
yeah, Jacob, not gonna go with this entire persona for long because I don't do it nearly as well as you do it. But we are here at what I consider kind of like the closing point to the first half of Wander Over Yonder season 1. We have officially done it, Jacob. We have officially gone through a quarter of the whole Wander Over Yonder library of episodes. I am very proud.
Yep.
So we've got some special plans for what we're going to do to celebrate that I'm going to announce at the end of the show. In the meantime, Jacob, what a mindfuck this was. And you've definitely watched this more than I have because I've only seen it twice through. But yeah, I'm going to have some fun kind of talking through the ending because this episode is...
Woo.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, it's not like we said when we were talking about the day, it's not the most over the top or surreal or like trippy episode that they've done, but it definitely is the episode where it's like, oh, okay, how did we end up here? I wonder.
Oh yeah.
All right, so the episode starts right where the day left off with Wander kind of recapping like, oh, don't you just love it when you wake up and you're all energetic and it's sunset out?
Yeah. And Sylvia's just tired from the events of the day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Literally the day.
Yeah, literally. And so Wander, I like how he obliged. He's like, all right, let's camp here for the night then. But then, of course, Wander, just as Sylvia's trying to sleep, he's just jumping around. He's jumping around in the hatches, going on and on and on about waking up for the nap and how good it feels.
Yep, and keeps talking like yeah, it's like da 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 da, and like Sylvia. I mean, like Wander, seriously.
Today was nuts, buddy, and I need a good shut-eye shesh. I like that, right? I like shut-eye shesh. It's kind of a tongue twister.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. So Wander is still wide awake. Jacob, I actually thought that some of the humor of this episode maybe came from just the fact that Wander is awake with nothing to do and he's bored out of his mind and he can't go to sleep.
That's probably where a lot of people thought it was gonna go.
That is where I thought it was gonna go. Absolutely, yeah. And I honestly thought that would have been an amazing premise for an episode because I have totally been in that exact same predicament before. But all right, but he's just lying there and I'm just gonna be sitting here, just playing my banjo. Whips out his banjo, and I love the way the banjo's used throughout the episode.
Yeah, and so he starts playing it, and then Sylvia's like, "Buddy, seriously, stop it." Like when I say peace and quiet, I mean really peaceful and really quiet.
And then
she's probably one. Yeah, she's probably one person you don't want to get into a tussle when she's angry.
Oh yeah, as we've seen before. Yes. Wander then vows to
especially when she's tired. I mean, I don't know if she'd even like spare Wander at that point.
Right. So Wander vows to make it the quietest night. Title card ever.
Ding.
I honestly think that's one of the more creative uses of a title card so far that we've gotten.
Like I said, yep, that is a pretty good one. Like I said, there isn't, like I keep teasing, there's an episode in season 2 entirely built around the concept of title cards.
I can't wait for that one. I absolutely can't wait. Okay,
yeah.
So we get a sequence that I think might have been somewhat inspired by The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, where Wander is lying there and he's hearing all these crickets, he's hearing an owl, he's hearing a frog. That kind of reminds me of the scene where Ichabod Crane is going through the forest and he keeps hearing like Ichabod, Ichabod, Ichabod.
Ichabod.
I don't know. Am I far off there? It definitely kind of like it felt like a playful take on something like that.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's a direct reference to it, but I can see where you draw parallels to it.
For sure, for sure. I especially love the crickets. The crickets are hilarious.
Well, that's a bit later though.
Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, but I do like them too.
Uh-huh.
I,
I love the designs on all these forest creatures. They kind of remind me of an Avatar-like appearance, like the Na'vi or whatever. But yeah, like the moose with the glowing antlers and stuff like that.
I call it the moose bear.
The moose bear. Oh God.
I mean,
it's not Moose Jaws, the new Kevin Smith movie coming out.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's moose. It's Jaws with a moose.
Oh boy. So, realizing that all these random noises in the forest could disturb Sylvia, he manages to make everything quiet, including, he ties the moose bear's tongue.
Mm-hmm.
He convinces a beaver to chew quietly on a log,
which is great.
He convinces a mole, which is digging underground, to just slowly pick at the dirt instead of clawing it away.
And then he somehow becomes Storm from the X-Men and shushes up the rivers and the wind.
Yes, Wander's so powerful he can shush nature.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. It's a new skill, bro.
It's like shh.
Oh God. And then he shushes the fire, and the fire goes out.
One thing you notice is that a lot of this episode doesn't have dialogue in it either.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the same could be said for both the episodes, actually.
Well, I mean, the day definitely has a lot more dialogue.
I guess so, yeah, just because, with Wander, he's not wanting to wake Sylvia up at all, so he's not talking through any of it. Yeah, fair point. Like
I said, other than the beginning, the occasional do, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
and then the
which is one of my favorite banjo motifs we've seen so far, by the way.
In the upcoming bug scene, and there isn't a lot of dialogue in it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In the upcoming bug scene.
Yeah.
But he stushes the fire and decides to lay down underneath the stars.
But there's one thing that he didn't shush yet. He didn't shush the crickets.
First of all, at first he sees a singular cricket, which is playing a violin, which is a pretty clever. Which I had to admit is a pretty clever visual gag. I
love this. This is my favorite visual representation, or my favorite visual gag in the episode, I think.
Yeah, it's a cricket playing a literal violin. A little. It's like he first breads it with a nut and a fruit. It doesn't take either one. Then he's like, gets a very exasperated look on his face and gives it a penny.
And I love how the penny kind of comes back, because we saw in The Nice Guy that Wander kind of keeps this giant collection of pennies in his hat.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's the same one, but probably.
Well, I'm saying he gives them a whole bunch of pennies though. He basically exchanges all the crickets. He gives them all pennies in exchange for the collection of violins.
Yeah, but if you notice, he's not very happy about it.
Well, yeah, because those are pennies, man. Come on.
He's like, you hear him go visibly. You hear him go.
And then Wander accidentally drops all the tiny violins, and there's a very dramatic moment. But Sylvia is still asleep. Thank God.
Yep. And the crisis averted. Oh yeah.
And then, oh God. And then this is where we kind of get Wander slowly drifting into insanity, because he's hearing his own heart pounding. He's literally hearing his own hair grow.
He starts sweating, which starts making noise.
He's got a growling stomach. He wants to open a granola bar, but just the mere act of opening the wrapping papers can be catastrophic.
So he walks away.
Takes off his shoes first.
He takes off his shoes because they're making noise.
Right.
But then what happens?
He steps on a tiny rock, a tiny sharp rock, which I got to admit would be very fucking painful, Jacob. That rock looks really, really sharp.
Yeah, but of course he can't scream. So he covers his mouth and tries to find find somewhere to scream. So what happens is, covering his mouth, muffling himself, he runs into that glowing moose bear.
Yeah,
runs away, screams again, but tries to scream, covers his mouth again. and then runs into a branch, almost about to scream again. Then, as he's screaming, another branch goes into his mouth.
Oh God.
He spits that out, and of course, screams, about to scream again. Covers his mouth, then falls down a hill, very painfully, by the way, and multiple times. Bounces, and then lands in a bunch of spiky vines,
Fire patches, basically.
basically. And then he goes to scream into a log to muffle his voice.
Oh God.
which is then full of bats.
Full of like giant horrific bat creatures. Oh no.
And so what he does is he finally reaches the top of a hill, way in the distance.
And I love this. This is such a cool shot.
And he just like lets out like a very, very loud scream.
I mean, seriously, Jacob, it's a very silly scenario, but artistically, I love the shot of Wander silhouetted against the moon, screaming as we pull back to see Sylvia against the fire. Really, really cool stuff there. Really like that. And this episode, I feel like as Wander Over Yonder goes on, we get more like the artistic style. It's not only settling with me, but I feel like they're pushing their game more and more as it goes on.
Trust me, wait till you see some of this animation in season 2. Some of that stuff can get whoa.
All right. So
yeah, but like it is, you have to admit, it is a very cool shot of like Wander screaming against the moon. While
just the whole like scenario is very Looney Tunes-esque. It's very like, that's what I love about this show, is that this show is absolutely unafraid to embrace its kind of like slapstick roots. You know what I mean?
Kinda, yeah.
All right.
And while she's all sitting peacefully, he's off screaming very loudly in the distance, which thankfully we can't hear because of how far away it is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but most likely due to his scream, an acorn falls down.
Oh God. And he just dramatically like leaps, grabs the acorn and just drops right by Sylvia, saving Sylvia from the acorn falling on her.
Yeah. And thus everything is all right until Sylvia rolls over on top of him.
Oh no. This isn't so bad, actually. Oh, yeah.
Suddenly, out of nowhere, millipedes.
Oh, God, Jacob. Okay, you know what I said about shaving the eyeballs being the most disquieting thing in the show so far?
Yeah.
No, fuck that. This. No. It's just all kinds of no, Jacob.
So much nope.
Okay, remember the nice guy episode where Wander holds the door open for the millipede man?
Yeah.
These are so much worse than that. It's so much worse because
it's like,
because they look menacing to scale. They look more to scale, which makes them look less cartoonish, and they've got those freaky like pointer legs. Oh God.
Yep, and at first it seems fine, then a whole bunch of them come and start crawling over his face.
And at that point, I'm like, no, oh God. I'm enjoying the episode, don't get me wrong, and I love cartoons that can kind of go there and make me, push me into an uncomfortable place like that, but
you can tell how uncomfortable he is.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like you kind of sympathize with him because having bugs crawl over your face when you're helpless, that must be torture. Too bad Lord Hater wasn't there to see that.
Oh, awesome torture mega mix. It's gonna be banging.
All I need is some centipedes.
Oh God. Oh no. But then we have a very Valley Girl-esque centipede that crawls over Wander's face and then forgets her purse, and then crawls over his face again and forgets her car keys.
And then she stops over and gets like, I swear, you'd forget your own deadly venom sac if it wasn't attached to your thorax.
And she's just like standing on Wander, and Wander's horrified. I love Wander's genuine reaction of horror in this scene. It's great. It's very realistic. It's like he's reacting just like we'd react to something like this.
Yep. And then they all like, let's go get this party started.
Oh God. Oh.
And then just then Sylvia
stay away, millipedes. Oh Jesus Christ.
And then just then Sylvia rolls off of him.
He's free.
And then the famous horror song. That song. I know that's that piano music, whatever. That organ music that
I
plays.
believe it's from Beethoven. I really want to say it's
from Beethoven. I know. It's like Toccata and Fugue in D minor. I think that's what it's called. It's
you're right. You're right. Toccata, Fugue in D minor. Of course.
It's like
Anyways,
It's like most famous from like its use in Dracula, I think.
Also Fantasia as well.
But yeah, probably Fantasia. I don't remember. I don't actually remember it in Fantasia. I remember a lot from Fantasia.
It's like the first. It's like the first number in Fantasia.
Oh yeah. I said I have to watch that again.
Fantasia is bombing, man. It's totally banging.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Fantasia.
All right. Anyways,
it's probably like my number one, like one of my number one favorites. But back to this.
Yeah.
And so Wander, like crawling around, wishes he would have like. He sees the cotton, which frankly wasn't there earlier. I must point out.
Whatever, it's a cartoon. I love it.
Yep. And so he grabs like a ball of what looks like cotton.
First he screams into it, and then he spits it out of his mouth, and they come out perfectly shaped like earmuffs.
Yeah, which I'm surprised considering Wander's luck wasn't poisonous or something.
Oh God, right.
But it turns out the earmuffs work. It muffles the noise for Sylvia, allowing him to finally play his banjo in peace.
Oh yeah. Right as we get into kind of the mind fuckery of the episode is Hader's ship kind of comes out in the distance, and a bunch of watchdogs are sent out in saucers.
Yeah, 3 watchdogs to be exact.
Mm-hmm.
They fly over and see Sylvia sleeping.
Oh, and here comes the mindfuck, Jacob. Here comes the mindfuck.
Well, what happens is like they try to lift her, but her head falls down, and she almost wakes it. And then she realizes, and then they try. One of the watchdogs convinces them, like if we basically without dialogue says, if we wake her up, she's gonna basically beat us up.
Right.
Like using like visual metaphors, like beating his head. So they realize to carefully scoop her up with the land speeder. I don't know what else to call it when. Land speeder and takes her away. Meanwhile, Wander is oblivious to the entire thing at first
because he's just casually playing his banjo. Oh yeah.
and then here's something and sees them trying to take Sylvia away.
Mm-hmm.
And what he does to distract them, he bribes the crickets again, gives them back, somehow gets their violins back.
Oh God, I love the crickets.
And then replaces the watchdog's controller with an acorn.
Weren't all those violins broken, by the way?
maybe got them out of his hat. Who knows? Because he did stuff them into his hat, so maybe the hat fixed them.
All right, fair enough. It's a cartoon, like I said.
Yeah, plus magic hat.
Yeah. Okay.
And so takes the control and speeds away with Sylvia.
Oh yeah.
And so thus begins a high-speed chase a quiet high-speed chase. By the way,
right.
A quiet high-speed chase through the treetops.
Yeah. Sylvia is still asleep, but her earphones are slipping off. Wander puts them back on, and Sylvia kind of like like she falls back into a peaceful slumber.
Yep. The watchdogs actually managed to hit his controller, which caused them to crash into a tree, which surprisingly does not wake up Sylvia.
Right.
Everything else minor noise does, but crashing in a tree totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens then is that like the watchdogs have lost them and they're searching the ground. Wander thinks they're safe until a leaf falls onto Sylvia's face.
Oh God.
So he carefully goes over and brushes it off.
It's just like, Wander, just leave the leaf at that point. Come on now. There are bigger things to worry about right now.
I'm sure Sylvia would understand.
Oh God. Oh God.
I'm sure she would probably understand at that point.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
So what happens is, due to the extra weight of Wander being on top of Sylvia, the the, the tree branch breaks and they both fall down on top of the watchdogs.
Yep.
And then we only see the shadows coming down as it lands off of them, and we cut to black.
And then
Next thing
how does this end, Jacob? How does this end?
Wander, like Sylvia wakes up later. It's like, Wander, and they're inside Lord Hader's ship. Wander's sleeping. The watchdog says, "He's sleeping. They're nervous, some people." And then it
then we
zooms
cut out to see Lord Hader's ship, just like we saw at the very beginning of the fucking day. What
Dun,
the hell, man?
Dun dun.
It's got to be a time loop, right? That's what I take it as. It's kind of like a Groundhog's Day style time loop.
I don't think it's maybe it's like meant to be a recursive episode, like it's like the episodes like reference each other and all that.
I love the way they do that, Jacob. It just totally comes full circle, and you could just watch the two episodes over and over and over again, and the plot will just literally never end.
Who knows where it does end? That's the thing.
God. Oh God. Like, that is a very, very creative choice for them to go in that direction with this episode. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
I mean, overall, it's definitely up there. It's funny. Like, I don't want to rank it right now because I kind of want to take some time to do some rankings in the future, which we'll get into. But Jacob, any final thoughts on this?
I can't really add anything to what we've gone over. It's a very fun, creative episode. Very fun to watch and like very mind twisty.
And very, very interesting to rewatch. That's one thing for sure.
But and you just remember the animatic? It turns out we get to see what the centipedes were going to. Some kind of bug rave.
You know what? I those centipedes creep me out so much. As soon as I saw them in the animatic, I was like, nope, done.
Shake your deadly venom sack.
Like, nope. Don't need it.
Yep, shake your deadly venom sack. Yeah.
Okay, Jacob. So just a couple quick announcements. We will be doing a Wander Over Yonder Season 1, Part 1, the first half of Season 1. I will be breaking down a ranking of my episodes from least favorite to favorite. And Jacob, I believe we will be doing that Friday because I'm going to be pretty busy tomorrow, and Thursday I have a shift at the museum. So Friday it is.
And how do you want me to accompany you on that?
I mean, you don't necessarily have to come up with your own list, because I feel like at the end of this whole thing, we'll do a podcast ranking like literally the best Wander Over Yonder episodes from beginning to end.
Yeah, all right, sounds good. But like I said, how do you want me to give your thoughts on the list or something like that?
Yeah. I just kind of we can just talk through the episodes and kind of see if you agree, if you disagree. Generally, you know.
Okay, so, I mean, I have general ideas on what your least ones will be, but I have general ideas on what your favorites will be, but
it's the middle episodes I'm gonna have to rewatch and kind of like rank for sure. But so stay tuned for that, folks. That'll be kind of like our wrap up to the first half of Wander Over Yonder Season 1. And then we will take a very, very brief hiatus of like maybe 5 days or so. Star versus the Force of Evil is coming back, Jacob. So we will be doing that hopefully Monday. Hopefully, if all goes well, Monday.
Yep, if they can hit the episode up.
Right. And then we've got Milo Murphy's Law coming up at the but that's not going to come up for another month or so.
Till October.
Right. So basically, Wander Over Yonder, after we do the Season 1 Part 1 retrospective, we'll be taking a quick break, and then after we get the Star vs. Force of Evil stuff out, we will be diving right back into Wander with the second half of Season 1. So,
but I can give you want me to give a teaser for the next two, though?
Why don't you do that at the end of our ranking episode? How about that?
All right.
Okay, Jacob. So very, very fun episode. very interesting, and I think the show is definitely I'm warming up to it a lot, and it's definitely hitting a stride for me. So can't wait to see more.
Yeah, but I'm glad you're liking this series. I mean, it kind of fell through the cracks in terms of ratings and all that.
Well, that's what we're here to do. We're here to spotlight why it's so good. So, all right, folks. So in the meantime, thanks for watching, and later, haters.
Mwah. Good night, everybody.
The nerve of some people.